Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm GpaSilverMane. This is a Marvel Strike Force video, and it's all about ShadowLands. Essentially in this video, I'm gonna talk about the reason they're the best starting team in my opinion, and it is just my opinion. I'm gonna talk about their long-term viability in mid to end game and such. I'm also gonna talk about how they as a team use a lot of the less desirable mini uniques in the game, so you'll have plenty of them to invest into them if you choose to do so. I'm also going to just talk about the whole team in whole with all their T4's that are necessary, the optional ones, the Iso-8 recommendations, and how the team will function. Everything Shadowlands, guys. By the end of this video, you'll be able to make your own informed, factual decision on if you even want to mess with Shadowlands. And you don't have to, because there's 200 characters in this game, and I've been working on it for about a week now, Marvel Strike Force 2.0. And in that, you don't have a best starting team. You have characters to farm. Your shard farming is pretty much what Marvel Strike Force is. There's no best starting team anymore because your arena team is just a conglomerate of your 5 best members. And it's going to give you more of a direction on like flash events and challenges and such, because that's about the only thing you can control in this game anymore, is being able to max those events. Yeah, but before we dive into the video here, I want to cover my YouTube channel. We're over 130 subscribers. It's completely free to hit that subscribe button. All it does is let you know when I put out new content, and then you can choose to watch it at that point or hit swipe left, and it'll just delete it. Also, if you're liking the videos, hit that thumbs up, guys. That really helps my channel grow and lets YouTube recommend my channel to more people. I don't get paid for any of that if you hit like or subscribe or nothing. It just helps my channel grow. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to apply to become a YouTube partner, at which point they will give me ad revenue and stuff. And it's not a lot. It's like 3 cents an ad or something. But it's something, okay? What I really want to say, though, is me and my wife, girlfriend, lover, are going to give away $100 when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Because essentially you're enabling me to be able to do this full-time as a career, as a joy of mine, a passion, a love. And I want to give back to my community that supported me in doing that. After we hit 1,000, of course, we're going for a 1 million subscribers. And that's my goal. But down below, like I said, if at any time you're liking it, you find it helpful, hit that thumbs up. It helps. Definitely subscribe, though, and join my Discord, because I put tons of information on Discord before it ever gets into a video. Also, I put a ton of information on Discord and conversations that you can just read on, and you know what I mean? Not even have to speak. You can just read them and pick up stuff from that as well. We also have just fun in there. I mean, we post crazy pictures of drops and stuff and razz each other a little bit. It's a Marvel Strike Force community on my Discord that is non-toxic, and it's just there to help the community. All right, let's go ahead and dive in here. I am going to try to make this as fast as possible, but I got to cover all this stuff, guys, and there's a lot to explaining a team and to clarifying this. After this video, you won't have any doubts again about my position or that I'm correct, because I am correct. In my opinion. All right, so number 1 is my notes here. They're very important. Early access to characters. Now, what I mean by this, let me move my big head here, but they're easy to get early on in the game. And that's the same with Wave 1, which is why Wave 1's a great choice. Any character you can farm in the beginning, you got to farm something, right? You got to build someone. Well, these are really early, easy access, okay? I'm not on the screen here. Let me click on the one. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Where did my screen go? Alright, there's my screen. So I'm managing all these screens, trying to filter this and do that, do this. Alright, so essentially, there we are. We're on the right screen. Now we can carry on. Night Nurse is found in villains 3-9. And she's 60 energy, so she's really early on. All you need is 3 villains, and you can go through that campaign up to about chapter 4. You will have to invest a little bit maybe to get to her, but it's not bad. She's still really early on, and she's only at 45 shard unlock, so a 2-star unlock to be able to use her. Elektra's 1-3 villains, which Black Widow's 1-9. She's just really early access. And I'm going to try not to compare Shadowlands to other teams, because there are a lot of great choices here, guys. And in Marvel Strike Force 2.0 series that I'm making, the brand new beginner's guide that covers everything in this game, there's no starting team. You just pick your team that you love, okay? the game has completely changed to where if you're going for Omega Red, you're not going to have Adam Warlock and the Infinity Watch for a while. And if you go Adam Warlock and Infinity Watch, you're not going to have Omega Red for a long while. And then you can just go your own path and whatever other new teams come out. So your roster may look totally different than somebody else's potentially, but you're still going to have fun and compete in every aspect. Again, Daredevil, okay, carrying on here. He's found in an arena store for 350 credits. 800 shards divided by 5 is 160 times you have to purchase it for 350 arena credits. But that's 160 days, and that breaks down to just over 5 months, I believe, roughly, to get a 7-star city hero that can do block party flash event. He's a great character. We'll dive into that more. White Tiger, you can get in the Blitz store. You could actually focus farm White Tiger now. But I don't recommend that until after you've unlocked most of the characters in the Blitz Orb. You open Blitz Orbs. Because the Blitz Orb will expand your roster to do more Blitz rotations. And they release new characters there, as well as you earn tons of gold and loot and red star orbs and everything else from doing Blitz. Blitz is so important. You need a lot of characters to do it, alright? Moon Knight's found in Cosmic 1-3. Literally 3 cosmic characters, Thor and 2 other cosmic characters will get you to his node and 3-star instantly. He is the longer of all these characters to get to because you need 3 cosmic and you have to be level 45. So it takes a while to get to his node, and then he's a 100 shard unlock. He's the hardest to farm and the hardest to get. He's very heavy intensive. He takes 100 energy a day, but he's so worth it. And you may never even get to that point, honestly. But we're going to carry on. That's the early access to them. Within a month, you will be farming all these characters if you follow this. And essentially, you don't have to build them up because you're not going to use them in your arena. Your arena is going to change so fast and so frequently that you may never use any of these characters in your arena. Even though you could, you probably won't. I use my White Tiger in mine, so she's an awesome standalone character and just better in the team. And also for raids, there's tons better teams for raids. Will Shadowlands do U7? Absolutely, 100% guarantee you it will. You just got to put more resources into them until they can do it, and that's almost with any team. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and discuss Ravagers and Ninja or Hand and all that, but almost any team can do U7 when they're built properly. You need healers, you need tanks, you need supports, defense up and such. So there's better characters way faster. There's no reason to build them up for raid when you're going to get other characters that are better in raids that you should be building, okay? Obviously, you should be focusing Astonishing Axemen as soon as you possibly can. And I will cover that all in the guides. Ghost and Bishop, and depending on if you're going for Omega Red, you need Maria Hill from the War Store. Otherwise, it's just Ghost and Bishop. Now, if you're going for Infinity Watch, I don't think you need anybody from the War Store. But that'll be in a later guide. This is all Shadowlands here. So moving on, the reason they're the best starting team is because of the early access, or the accessibility early on to get their shards. Now, why that's a good thing is because later on, you build them up, let's say, to G11 level 60. And you stop there, or you don't even take them that far. You know what I mean? You get them to like gear tier 8, and you're just collecting their shards. You don't even invest in them at this point, right? But you get later on, you have the extra resources, and you go and level these guys up. They are one of the top war offenses in this game. A top 5 war offense, guaranteed. If not a top 4, top 3, top first place. They're just amazing war offense. The bigger you build them, the better they're going to do. They do amazing punch-ups on some of the meta defenses currently. All right, so that's their long-term viability. Is at the end of the day, they're going to still be around. They are in the top 5 out of 40 teams. They're in the top 5 teams for war offense. That's huge. That's one reason right there alone to invest in them later. All right. Number 3, they all use less desirable mini uniques. And what I mean by that is Night Nurse here uses this augmented Oz formula. And she's one of the very few characters you're going to use this on. If you build Shadowlands. Otherwise, you won't even use it on her. Otherwise, you got Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles, Green Goblin, and one other character that use these. I'm going to use them on Spider-Man and Night Nurse on my free-to-play account. Unless another great character drops that uses them. Until then, nobody else uses it, right? None of your favorites and best characters in the game use that mini unique. That's a mini unique. It's right here on the left. That one piece of gear. And this thing right here is your mini unique for that character. Now, Daredevil, he uses Palladium, I believe it's called. And you can see right here, not every purple gear tier takes the mini unique, which is kind of nice, but every gold will. I think it's 24, 24, 24 for gold Palladium. And the Palladium is just a blue triangle looking shape. And Thanos, Rocket Raccoon, and a few others use it, but you might not even go Thanos or Rocket. So essentially, this would be a great character to put it into as Daredevil later on. So that's what's really good about him as well, is because he's using mini uniques that nobody else does. Okay, Electro here uses carbonadium, which is these little ingot looking things. As you can see, I haven't really invested into her, but I got a decent amount. This is my main account after 2 years, of course, but I got a decent amount. There's not many other characters that use this for her to compete with. So if you ever wanted to take her up, that's great, but she's the worst of the Shadowlands characters. She's literally on the team because she has the Shadowland tag. And otherwise you wouldn't even use her. You'd use a different fifth. She gives them bonuses for being Shadowland. The more Shadowlands you have on the team, the stronger the bonuses. But that is her mini unique. And it's unique, you know what I mean? Not many people really know great characters use it, honestly. White Tiger is the best. And she uses Superior Focus Chi. It's a little yellow orb and it's got like a figure 8 on it. And Iron Fist and Colleen Wing also use it, but Colleen Wing you can't even get currently. And if you weren't around for her event, you don't have her. And Iron Fist is good without making G15. He just gets better as you gear him up like everybody else. She would be a great... She is the priority for the Superior Focus Chi mini unique. She is an amazing character, in or out of the team. She just does so much damage. She's amazing. Now, as for White Knight, he's all white, and his name is Moon Knight. I don't know why I keep calling him White Knight. I get that tongue tied. I'm stuck on White Knight. He's not a White Knight. He might be a White Knight, but he's dressed in white. Anyway, his mini unique is used by the Dad Bros, so that could be controversial for you. But Shadowstar is 1,000 arena credits, so you shouldn't even be getting him anyway, and it will remain at 975 for quite a long time. And long shot, once you get him out of the war store, yeah, he's worth putting Gravitonium. It's Gravitonium is their mini unique. I think it's Superior Gravitonium or something. It's like a weird looking rock that looks melted, like a metal that looks melted, molten magma. I would say he's worth using it on. Out of all the characters that use that, him and the Dad Bros are the 3 that should get that Superior unique. And that's why the third reason I feel they're the best. You can start off by farming them. You don't have to invest into them if you don't want to. You can, and you can use them. You know, they're a great, solid team, right? They're going to win your war offenses when you get to the war section of your, with your alliance. But you don't have to invest into them. I would just be farming them until you get to an arena team and a raid team that you truly want and should be. And then I'd focus my farming on my arena team and my raid team, and then come to these guys later on when I can afford to, when I have the extra golden resources from flash events and challenges and such. Also, they have 3 mystics right here and these 2, and they're taking tons of mystic gear. Well, with Deathpool, Cloak, Dagger, Cersei, Icarus, Doom, they're all mystics. When these guys come out 6, 7, 8 months ago now, 7 or 8 months ago now, there wasn't really mystics to be had. I don't think they made a mystic in like a year, right? And then they dropped these 2 mystics. And that was kind of cool. Well, now they're just flooding the game with mystics. 2021 was the year of the mystics. And what that's doing is there's a severe gear crunch. Go watch my video on gear crunch, mystic gear crunch I made the other day, and it will inform you on all of that, guys, as well as better inform you on the mini uniques. You will have no questions about gear for mystics after that. All right. And that's why they're so good. Why not start farming them and then transfer to your arena team to farm them and your raid team. All right, sorry about that. There's a train flying by. But that would be my recommendation, is to do that. Like, go start off on them, and as soon as you have your arena team established of who the 5 that you're using currently, focus them, build them up, and your raid team, focus farm them, and anything extra you could focus farm or invest into these guys. That's giving you 3 solid teams right off the bat. Night Nurse is used later on, and oh god, what's it called? That one thing. And Doom Raids, as well as Dark Dimension, if you choose to. And she's a cheap investment. Really not very gear intensive. they do take a lot of T4s, and that's what I want to get into now is the T4s and the Iso-8s. Everybody comes at me and says they're so T4 intensive, and that's why they're a terrible team to build. Well, you don't start off putting T4s into teams, okay, guys? Any good team is worth putting T4s into. Any good team takes several T4s. And just for instance, I've put in several in my Infinity Watch. I put 12 in them, and I still haven't got all the ones that are required for them to be a great team. I put 16 into Black Order, and I could put a few more, honestly, to make them even better as a great team. So that's 12 and 16. There are only 8, in my opinion 6, but 8 would be a lot better. There's 8 mandatory T4s. That's less than several meta OP teams, right? So you really can't say they're T4 intensive, because if you look at any good team you have or any good team you're going to invest in, they take a lot of T4s. That's what this game's about. T4s are a good thing, and if they take a lot of them, that's a good thing. The bad part is, free to play, you don't get a ton of T4s. Okay, so that's the bad thing. Putting T4s in a team is not a bad thing. It just makes them way better. So anybody that sees that as a downside is actually looking at it backwards. Change your point of view and your perspective, and you would understand that ShadowLands is amazing. Okay, you're looking at it wrong, is what I'm trying to say. Now I want to go ahead and talk about their T4s, exactly which ones it is. And I want to start on Night Nurse because she has 3 out of the 8, and they are crucial. These are game-changing T4s. Some of the best T4s in this game. Right here, when this character or any Shadowland ally drops below 50% max health, apply defense up to that character and fill this character's speed bar by 30. Okay, so let's say White Tiger gets hit, she drops down to 45% health. You're going to give her defense up so she can't die. You're going to fill Night Nurse's speed bar, so let's say it's at 45%, 55%. She's going to jump up pretty much to her next turn, and she's going to use one of her healing abilities on White Tiger. At which point, she will have defense up and a full health bar. Okay, so that's why this move is so important. Or if your healer here gets focused, she drops below 50%, she's going to get defense up, so they're not going to be able to kill her. Fill her speed bar, and she's going to heal herself. Okay, this is a huge T4 right here, guys. And it's one of the 8 that are considered necessary. Now, her ultimate, starting with 4 energy, is what this does. If you look here, when you start a battle, she has no energy, so you'd have to wait 4 turns in that fight before she could use this move. And by then, the fight would be over. If you don't have this T4'd, you might lose the fight. If you have this T4'd, you're almost guaranteed to win the fight. What it does is it starts you off at max. You can use this at any time you choose. Flip 3 negative effects on self and all Shadowland allies. That's huge. So Cloak comes out, he covers your whole team in negative effects. That other team thinks, oh my god, I'm going to own this guy, right? What are they doing? Well, bam, Night Nurse pops that. All those are positive effects. You now have offense up, defense up, speed up. You get what I'm saying? And you nuke Cloak's team to death. You got your death pool. She's spreading and applying all these negative effects. You flip them. Bam. You kill death pool. This is an amazing T4. Shadowlands is amazing. Then she also heals all allies for 15% of this character's max health and apply 2 regenerations to each. So 15% and then a 5 and a 5. I think regeneration is actually 10% because minor regeneration is a 5%. So that's another 20% she's actually healing them. That is a huge T4 and why it's so good and recommended, crucial pretty much to the team. This T4 is the last one for Night Nurse. It says, heal the most injured ally for 20% of this character's max health. Well, if you T4 this, it's going to heal the most injured ally for 40% of this character's max health. And then you're going to call the strongest ally, White Tiger, to hit somebody. And she applies defense down and slow for 2 turns when she hits somebody when she gets called. Clear 3 negative effects from the most injured ally and all adjacent allies. So White Tiger got hit and her allies are hurt and they got negative effects. Well, you're going to clear all them negative effects and heal them all for 40%, all 3 of them. And you're going to annihilate the enemy because they're going to have, you know what I mean? No negative effects and full health, essentially. It's an amazing T4, guys. Great character once you T4 her. Without those T4s, she's not so swell. She can't keep your team alive in a raid until you have those T4s. Electra, oh, she don't have no T4s. You could use some, and they're good. They will apply Disrupt to some of her moves for 2 turns. But otherwise, I wouldn't recommend any in her, and they're not necessary. Now, Daredevil has 1. And that's his passive here, if you look. He gained 5% speed for self and defender allies. This applied after any character has taken an action. He gains 5% dodge chance, and he gains 5% dodge chance per defender ally. Well, what this T4 does is it's adding 5% speed for self, or it's Shadowland allies gain 10% speed. My bad. So all Shadowland allies will gain 10% speed. That's huge. He will gain 5% dodge chance per Shadowland ally. That's a 25% dodge chance every time somebody hits him, that it won't even hit him. So 1 in 4 will not hit him, and all Shadowland allies are getting 10%. Now, if you consider the war tag just an extra cherry on the top here, you're gaining another 10% additional speed for self and Shadowland allies. So all Shadowland allies will get 20% speed up in war. And that's not war offense or defense. It's either way. Okay, so you can put them on defense and they get this too. It's huge, and that's the only one he really needs because it gives so much speed to the team. Now, if your team is OP, do you need that much speed? Probably not. But that essentially it puts them over the top, guys. It's insane. All right, so White Tiger, she has 2, and Moon Knight has 2. And the 2 on Moon Knight, I don't necessarily consider. Those are the 2 I could think you would leave for last. But they are really great. You could T4 all of their moves, and you can do that with any good team. But there's 2 on each of these. I'm going to go to White Tiger because these are the 2 most crucial in my opinion. It's called Eye of the Tiger. On spawn, apply offense up to self and all Shadowland allies is what it does now. On kill, fill speed bar by 10%. Okay, you're going to get 30% for making it level 3, so it'll be at 40. But here's what happens when you T5 it. On spawn, fill speed bar by 10% plus 5% speed bar per Shadowland ally. So she's going to get 30% speed bar on spawn. For self and all Shadow. So the whole team, all 5 of them are going to get 30% speed bar filled up. So essentially your team's going to all go before the enemy. And you're going to crush the enemy. On kill. So when she kills somebody, she's going to fills her speed bar by 70%. So she's going to kill somebody, essentially fill her speed bar, and then kill another person. You get what I'm saying? It's amazing. So huge, so huge. And then the next one that's said to be mandatory or recommended. This is another great T4 that you will need. Okay, guys. I did tons and tons of research on this. I researched this way back when, before I ever put out that Shadowlands was the best. And a lot of this is why. Okay. Attack primary target for 70% piercing. All right, that's pretty good. Piercing ignores armor, so armor will not stop any damage, meaning you're actually going to put in like 70% piercing is more like 150% damage or something. Okay, it's just huge. Piercing ignores armor. Bonus attack 1 time for 40%. Okay, that's nothing. It's all right. Apply a heal block, but if you T4 this move, gain 20% piercing per Shadowland ally. So that's 80% piercing to all attacks. So you're now doing 150 piercing on the primary attack. You're doing 3 bonus attacks of 120. That's 360% piercing plus 150. That's 510% piercing damage to 1 target. They're dead. They are dead at that point. And if they're not, Night Nurse is going to 1-tap them, okay? That will kill anybody. It's just insane amount of damage. And it might not kill anybody at the very, very end game when you're fighting million power versus million power, but it's going to kill almost anybody, pretty much. Now, the only other one I want to talk about here for her is her ultimate, and it's quite sensational, guys. The T4 is 10% healing, clear all negative effects from self, 140% damage to primary target. So you're doing 340% damage plus applying heal block. Now, if there's negative effects on her, she'll clear all of them from herself. And she'll heal herself for 40%. 40% healing. And then nuking an opponent. And it's not necessarily nuking, but it's a good significant amount of damage. 340% damage, pretty solid. Usually 2 or 3 of those will kill most characters. 340% damage. Her basic is just a add-on here that I always want to do because it's quite sensational. Apply defense down for 2 turns. Apply plus slow for 2 turns. When this character performs a counter attack or assist, what is that word? She applies. Okay. When forced to attack an ally, and they all have this thing here, they deal less damage to Shadowland characters, which is basically a mosquito bite to their own team, which is huge. It's just another bonus for them, right? But attack primary target For 170% damage, you add 50%. That's 220% damage, apply heal block. You then have a 70% chance to apply defense down. This attack deals double damage to summoned characters. It's amazing, okay? 70% chance to apply defense down. And if she hits them twice, it's 2 defense downs if they're vulnerable and you run her as striker. It's huge. I just want to show that off. But I'm saying her passive and her special are the only 2 mandatory ones. Okay, guys? And that makes them great. Now I'm going to finish this up real quick because I'm taking a little long here. But it's got to be stressed. His passive and his ultimate are the 2 that are essentially mandatory. And this is why. If you T4 this, you're going to gain 20% max health. Shadowland allies gain 20% max health. That is huge. Okay? 20% more max health on Night Nurse. All of her heals are based off her max health. 15% of her max health, or 40% of her max health. Another 20% is just going to help, and every character starts with an extra 20%, so they're going to live a lot longer. Huge, huge T4. Well worth it. And then you got his ultimate. On this T4, bear in mind, he does get a lot more damage at level 5 and level 4. Actually, it's like 280 more on that. It's 500% damage attack, essentially. Plus, it's applying heal block for 2 turns. Now, it does give you a 40% chance to apply 3 additional negative effects to each enemy from this list. In my experience, he always applies a ton of negative effects. And it's 3 of these, potentially. It could be 1, it could be 0, it could be 2, it could be 3. But up to 3 of these. And it's for 2 turns. So 2 turns of 3 of these negative effects is going to cripple your opponent while White Tiger shreds them. That's why this T4 is so essential. It's amazing. After hearing what these moves do, how could you tell me you do not want to build Shadowlands? Okay. And if you say that, I'm happy for you. Go build whatever you want. Good luck to you, and I wish you the best. I accept your opinion and your thoughts just like I hope you accept mine. Now this in-war tag is just an extra bonus, right? It's going to clear all positive effects off your enemies. Unless they have the safeguard, right? So, if they're not Infinity Watch, a full team of Infinity Watch, you're going to clear all positive effects. Essentially destroying Black Order. Okay. And then you're going to apply slow and disrupted, so they're not going to be able to pull taunt or flip, do the Thanos flip and such. Ain't going to make a difference, okay? You're going to destroy them. Okay, guys? And those are the T4s that are required. 8 T4s. I'm going to recommend you go watch Philosopher's video, and he covers this all on the screen. He covers it way more in depth. There are 4 other T4s that you can get, but they're not essential, and I'm not going to go over those because I believe every T4 is pretty much worth it. But with those 8 T4s, this team will destroy pretty much anybody, barring Infinity Watch and Heroes for Hire, just because they're so broken at this point. All right, so those are the T4s. Now, for the ISO recommendations, I want to go back here real quick. This is how you want to run them. Identical, except you want to run Electra as a skirmisher, so she can apply vulnerable, and then White Tiger hits that character with her special. All this piercing damage, kills them, gets 70% speed bar, but she's also going to hit him again because they had vulnerable. So if this 520% piercing does not kill them, that vulnerable for her extra basic attack will finish them off. And then she'll get 70% speed bar. Essentially, you're killing the best character on the enemy team right off the bat by running Electra as a skirmisher and her as a striker. Now, I run her as a striker because I'm going to apply vulnerables with Moon Knight, Daredevil, and then I'm going to take advantage of them with White Tiger, hopefully most of the time. But Electra's basic sneak attack here, it applies bleeds. Or the target as a defender, apply 3 bleed instead. So you're giving them 3 bleed, and you have more than 3 Shadowland allies, so you're going to give 6 bleeds if she takes advantage of a vulnerable. 6 bleeds are quite huge, okay? That's why I run her as a striker personally. But skirmisher is what is recommended and probably best in slot. Honestly, you should run her as a skirmisher. And then you got healer, obviously. These 2 have guaranteed 100% crit, so why not put crit Raider on them for crit damage? And they hit multiple targets, so you're going to have vulnerables on everybody, essentially. They're amazing, guys. Look at this whole video in total and tell me they're not amazing. Comment down below if you have a different opinion or why you have a different opinion, or if you have any comments, thoughts. If you like this video, if it helps you understand Shadowlands in any way, thumbs it up, guys. Again, subscribe, stay up to date on my videos, and that way you can stay up to date on my videos. And join our Discord, because there's a ton of great people in there, a ton of great information. And you don't got to be a part of my alliance or anything like that. You don't got to be following my YouTube channel, but that Discord is a great tool for anybody in the Marvel Strike Force community. You can make a lot of friends there, guys. Yeah. You all stay healthy. Much love, and we'll see you in the next one.